What's up, Crypto Crew, and welcome back. Or if this is your first time, I'm Captain Crypto Mite, actively escaping the Matrix, scoping out the crypto ocean. So if you like your odds, get on the boat, stay up to date, thumbs up, and join the hunt.
Into the boat!
Crypto Crew, today we'll watch the next segment of the interesting interview Ankit of the XXM podcast had with Angel, a seasoned international lawyer and crypto compliance expert, as we'll hear Angel's unique insights on crypto regulation, institutional adoption for both crypto and Kaspa. You might want to stick around for this one, Crypto Crew.
You forgot one very important thing, mate.
Prove all things, hold fast, that which is good. Always remember to keep your Kaspa coins, Bitcoins, and crypto investments safe by practicing self-custody. In our opinion, the Tangem wallet is your best option, and Tangem has extended their Black Friday special until December 9th. 30% off plus $10 in Bitcoin. Just add code BF2025 to code CryptoCrew to avail. Thanks so much for your consideration and support in advance, and may the Lord Jesus Christ bless you all.
I met Paul and Rory online, so we had a discussion, and after this, they sent me a kindly invitation. I paid for my ticket with a discount. I partook the event. So I can say that I saw firsthand what was the presentations that they were developed during the event. So for example, Rory made a keynote on Kaspa infrastructure. And it's very important to say that both Rory and Paul are putting an immense amount of weight and credibility towards Kaspa. And this is not an easy task, because when you are in a very traditional environment, just trying to discuss crypto and blockchain, it could be seen as not quite well, or people will very difficult understand the nuances around it. So Kaspa was presented as an infrastructure tool. So for them, that they are very familiar with energy and the energy grid, Kaspa was presented as a digital grid for building all the infrastructure carry innovation their stakeholders they might require. Trading carbon credits, tokenized renewables, various transactions that are collateralized or backed on energy with gigawatt stablecoin and so on and so forth. And interestingly enough, the event was co-organized by the government, and the Vice Minister of Energy and Petroleum went to the event the second day. He opened the keynote. He sat in the same table as Paul, and in the group picture, because of this protocol, he was in the middle, and next to him was Paul. So the network that the DII has in terms of their partners, they're companies that they are over 100 years, like over a century, that they are like leading in the industry. And they are absolutely serious, high regarded corporations with the most credibility, as I said, in the space. Kaspa being presented among them, that's something that is incredibly relevant. And as to the relationship with the KII, I met online Rory and Paul. We had some discussion. Then we met in person. We had a personal meeting as well. We had dinner together at the event. They're fantastic individuals, I have to say, extremely intelligent and very good people. I presented my initiative, what we wanted to build with LehmanBush. LehmanBush will be a fund manager, a C3 fund manager. And below LehmanBush will be the Kaspa fund, which will be a Kaspa qualified investment fund. So it's like a closed fund. This fund will have like long-term investment or horizon, like Kaspa as a treasury. It won't be doing any other things around it. For the management of the fund, I am suggesting one of the seats will be from KII. I actually invited Kaspa Ecosystem Foundation as well, KEF, to have a seat. And I would like pretty much someone from the community as an advisory, or some from CAT. I actually reached out to Ashton, and I told him that when the time comes, I will just reach out to him and see if they are willing to have a seat as an advisor or something, consultant from the community as well. So the idea of the fund is to open the access to institutional capital to Kaspa, because in the UAE, if you want to invest in crypto, you download an app and you just hit it and that's it. If you're an institution, or like you manage a family office, or you have a pension fund, or you're like any sort of investment accredited investor, if you want to have access to digital assets, is highly regulated. In the Dubai area, for example, the IFC, they will let you invest just from the authorized list of, they call it token list approval. Otherwise, you cannot hold any asset or have any crypto collateral underlying if it is not approved or pre-approved by the authority. And they're in the process of changing this legislation for the upcoming year. They're making some discussions around it. And that's one of the follow-up meetings I had with these regulators. While I was pitching Kaspa, and it's a centralized network, so there is no company behind that can make the listing. And now they might allow like funds or investment companies to allocate up to certain percentage of the treasury in certain one share asset. But the idea for us was to open the gate of institutional adoption to Kaspa, maybe as the earlier Pantera Capital or Grayscale funds, because we believe that Kaspa should be up there as a high regarded asset for institutions as well. I think that will benefit the ecosystem overall.
So LehmanBush Capital will have few other investments, and one of the funds will just exclusively hold Kaspa as a treasury asset.
LehmanBush Capital will be a C3 fund manager in Abu Dhabi, under which we'll have two mandates. We'll have one energy mandate for the Baltic countries and European renewable energy. That's traditional private equity, nothing to do with crypto. And then we will have a qualified investment fund just for Kaspa. Ideally, we're targeting up to $500 million in value.
So when you're saying it'll be a closed fund, so if you're a high wealth individual, you can chip in some capital there, right? How does it work in terms of raising capital?
So the qualified investment fund in ADGM, the minimum ticket, because it's not for retail, it's just for institutions and high net worth individuals. The minimum ticket is $500,000. Is half a million. It cannot be less. So we wanted to do it in tranches, in $100 million tranches. We will see how that will play out, because obviously we have to secure over the counter previously and various things to start accumulating Kaspa eventually in the future.
That's exciting, man. So have you raised any capital? Have you guys started the process of raising capital? Or?
Yeah, that's kind of the issue, because we are discussing with stakeholders. We cannot advertise in something that is not yet approved. We have been discussing some letters of intent. At this stage, non-binding letter of intent. Eventually, the idea is to grow up from there and try to present this to various stakeholders. My idea is to try to reach out to not just institutions, obviously, mostly institutions, but try to reach out to various networks in the blockchain space across the UAE. For example, you have the Dubai Blockchain Center or other stakeholders that as well, they have their affiliates or stakeholders in a sense. I presented Kaspa, the visualizer, to the CEO of the Dubai Blockchain Center as well, just before all this drafting structuring was possible. So I think it's down the road. Obviously, you want to secure an anchor investor. That's something we are discussing as of now. There's things that we cannot disclose. We have discussed also with the custodian, which is a very reputable custodian. We have an NDA with them. We cannot say who it is. Let's say it's an American custodian, almost tier one, with a banking license, and they're very good guys and good friends of us. And the reason why is we wanted to do some full custody, so people don't, like the exchanges, they don't manipulate any of the treasury against the community or so on.
So are you looking to manage yourself, or are you going to hire a team of people that manage it?
Obviously, a team of people. There is a CFA advisor that might become our CFO. We're discussing that currently. I would like to lead this initiative, but obviously, when it comes to being the CEO, the representative, that's something that the board has to decide. Most likely, there will be someone much more knowledgeable than I, but initially, me pushing the boat with a very comprehensive multidisciplinary team. I cannot speak from KII. What I can say from what I've seen on different emails and conversations I have shared, there is one particular company which was part of the DII event, and they work around securitizing power purchase agreements with the German government, actually. I cannot speak of the company, but they looked at the infrastructure and they said that they would like to take a closer look. And ideally, that's one of the intentions from KII to build, for example, Kaspa for trading energy as a whole, because then you have, for example, you could have
the Zeta exchange.
Exchange, not just around carbon credits, but also around everything that produces cash flow. So, for example, the power purchase agreements, you could securitize those and try to put that on RWAs that are fully permitted, and you have live information data from it.
What is standing out to you for Kaspa to be successful in 2 to 3 years' time?
I think as a decentralized project, Kaspa fits the definition of an asset without an issuer. So that is definitely a good thing. And that was the fair launch model with the 100% decentralization aspect of things is good, because you cannot go after one person, one institution, one entity. And the opposite is also true, that the sense of one person, one institution, one entity, they cannot just crash the project or just close the gates and that's it. Kaspa is unstoppable. Kaspa is decentralized. Kaspa flows like like the wind.
What do you think we can do, or community can do, to drive Kaspa adoption further?
I mean, so far, I think the community has done great things. The Kaspa message. There is a Kaspa decentralized version for social media. Things that are really, really cool. I think the Kaspa community, is building for the Kaspa community. And I think that's the worst thing that could happen. You should have a market fit that actually makes sense in the overall context of crypto. What I personally like from other communities, even they are like very narrow-minded in a way, is they focus, what's, the TVL, what's all this kind of metrics and so on. And if you put Kaspa in that mirror, then we're screwed. So hopefully when Eager Labs, gets live and there is like tools that you can just plug and play, I think that the biggest mistake we're making is trying to invent things from scratch and just don't put things out of production. For example, you have incredible tools today that you can just plug and play in Kaspa. I'm not coder of stuff. I cannot deploy, Chainlink tools in Kaspa. There's people that most likely they can't do this kind of stuff. So if tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, you invent something that is better than XYZ project or XYZ tool, okay, just launch it. That's it. And don't wait for you to have, this 100% perfect rounded solution when there is something that you can just use. And then, GPT can stop call us, the poor chain and so on. So there is a lot of hanging fruits around the ecosystem. So we should build not just for the Kaspa community, but integrate existing systems with things that are now having most of the adoption and where the most value comes from, and try to present Kaspa's advantages in that context. So if we have a centralized sequencer, how that can benefit XYZ protocol, XYZ project, and so on and so forth.
And this is also an area where we as crypto investors can learn and grow as well, as that's what makes this particular bull run so unique and different from previous ones. But does that also mean real big liquidity is about to be dropped into the crypto ocean? I guess we'll have to wait and see, crypto crew. Shout out to Angel, shout out to Ankit and the XXIM podcast. More to come in a vid near you, crypto crew. Prove all things, hold fast that which is good.
Stick around.
Fix your mind before you get to the grind. And with that said, let's continue to escape the matrix. Let's continue to be on the lookout for the next big thing here on the crypto ocean. Grow in grace, and let's make some crypto waves. Say I.